Welcome to your magical moon message, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Peace Dealer. Moon in Aquarius, Sun in Virgo. Welcome. I'm glad you've made it. This is a most relevant and very important transit. We are getting ready to kick in a full moon that's literally going to set off this turning point. So, first of all, I want to thank all of you who have shown me so much love for these Magic Moon messages. This is definitely a series I wasn't expecting the feedback to get what I've gotten. I'm going to look towards expanding this series, making it a bit longer. The only reason why they're 15 minutes is because Instagram doesn't allow me to record more than 15 minutes. I'm sure there's a way around it now versus when I made this decision. But yeah, I'm looking forward to, I know I say this a lot, but hit you with a new series. Regardless, whew, Virgo season is the end of season 2. Every year we have 4 seasons, but in a narrative sense, season 1 is the activation season. Season 2 is the integration season, where we have introduced the relevant characters for the season during the spring season. And summer is where this integrates, leading into the great climax of the fall and winter, season 3 and 4. Season 2 is peculiar this year because we're about to come into a major twist that over the next 6 months is going to prepare us for the beginning of the end of the world, which will lead into the New World Order, Saturn and Aries. So why this is very important is we have already kicked in underway the new moon cycle in Virgo that has activated this change in behavior to bring in the seeds of this new life. These seeds have broken through ground, moon in Sagittarius, and we're integrating advanced techniques and the total understanding of the knowledge, or the understanding of total knowledge, moon conjunct Saturn Aquarius, that's going to have us integrate what we activated with this new moon. Now, the reason why this is supernaturally amazing beyond belief is because we already had the Pluto moon in Capricorn that awakened and opened up a deeper layer, as it will do every time the moon goes over this every 28 days. Power, layer and level of power. And now, based on this, you just keep this in mind. Every time the moon goes over Pluto during this cycle, because it's going to change drastically once Pluto's in Aquarius and Saturn's in Pisces, right? Every month the moon goes over Pluto, especially as a part of this gauntlet, we gain a deeper depth of power. And then it goes over Aquarius and we gain extra knowledge of this greater depth of power that we came into. Then Neptune fulfills greater experience, and we do this every month. Okay, it's really, it's kind of like a firmware update on your phone every month. And the nature of this update is concluding the very last zodiac sign of the cycle. Virgo is the last of the 6 before we have the full moon in Pisces. So there's a total understanding of knowledge that's going to take into account a considerable breakthrough in the quality with which you come into understanding how to bring into form advanced qualities of supernatural abilities and skills you've had your whole life. Uranus retrograding in its trine with the sun in Virgo is enabling you to make hyper aware this unique sense of analysis that has you notice causality and supernatural elements of your own body that you may have always known, and this confirms, or you may have never known and you're seeing for the first time. A lot of this may, for some of you, come at a shock, and it can trigger denial where you may have never wanted to accept these facets of you for a while. Case in point, some of you are dead ass immortal, and you keep lying to yourself and telling yourself that you had near death experiences. No, motherfucker, you died. You just can't die. So you come back to life. And these are things that, because they're so controversial to embrace in this postmodern society, there's a way we can, with our critical minds, trick ourselves to not see things that are literally right in front of your face. So this is going to be one of those transits that not only breaks you through fundamentally, this is going to prepare you for the moon in Pisces. That's going to complete your understanding of what we've just harvested and are getting ready to harvest throughout this full moon cycle. Okay, this is going to bring in this great twist. This is going to bring in this whole change of your behavior in life. And this is going to bring in the full understanding of how to apply new lifestyle techniques to change your whole life. This is like coming into the realization that you're a super metahumanly advanced street level Spider-Man. And now you can change the way you live your whole life with your superpowers. But this is that period, and I use this analogy a lot. This is that period where you're fundamentally applying advanced techniques in order to bring your lifestyle to a higher level. The nuance and layers of this are ridiculous. And what brings us beyond belief is the moon in Aquarius, anchored by Saturn, that's also squaring. Oh my gosh, so much jargon, so much channeling. That's also squaring at a 90-degree angle Uranus, not exactly, but the moon in Aquarius on Saturn is squaring Uranus in Taurus. And because we have the nodes, you can look at this as you and your body downloading all the abilities you've had from every single timeline in past life. You know you feel this. But the moon in Aqua is giving you a higher knowledgeable understanding of taking this cosmic energy, literal cosmic energy from like out of this world, and also, as we speak of the cosmos, and the square to Uranus is innovating your ability to manifest this on person. So I'm not gonna front. Like, many of you should kind of listen to this and be like, what the fuck is this bullshit you're talking about? Because I'm bringing into words phenomena that we've had no explanation of. Like, technically what I'm saying, the whole notion of being able to take energy in extra dimensionally and harness it and channel it. Yeah, you've seen Reiki healers do, unless you know about John Chang, who's able to emit ki from his hands. These things are scoffed at. These things are seen as pseudoscientific. These things are seen as stupid. Here in the revolution of the individual, you, with your own unique experiences, are giving credence and voice and life to this phenomena through the dreams, through the experiences, through the gifts you're manifesting. You're innovating science, philosophy, psychology with what at this stage the considerable element of this breakthrough is getting ready to come in. Neptune coming out of Pisces 2025, Pluto coming out of Capricorn 2023, Saturn coming out of Pisces, and Aquarius and Pisces is what's going to represent the collective awakening where everyone's using superpowers. I'm going to just say it like this. The whole concept and notion of everyone all over the world using metahuman abilities, or the ability, because what it's going to start off with is seemingly small things, like the ability for human beings all over the world to cognitively access a cerebral apex. Whether or not you believe that your brain can harness 100% of its capability, because they say that's a myth, and they equate it to your brain producing, activity in all areas, which has nothing to do with whether it's producing 100% or not, but we can ignore that fallacy. Regardless, these are going to lead into much greater breakthroughs because a lot of in our ability to not only utilize supernatural abilities, but how we integrate this into society. For example, there's a huge mediumship outbreak. But the way this might be seen as is schizophrenia, and people being more diagnosed with mental illness. But it's not that. It's that the veil is thinner than it's ever been. And if we think of Neptune and Pisces in the veil, and Saturn is going to go into Pisces over the next 2 years and literally kill the veil and institute a brand new veil, this is not only the thinnest it's been. If we think about a 30-year reconstituent or reveiling cycle where Saturn goes through this, I just be challenging on, and Neptune goes through, of course, every 156 years, right? But there are a lot of mediums that are just awakening like that. It's not as simple as just the ability to hear ghosts. Duties that relate towards assisting their crossing over, unmitigating, or I just wanted to say mitigation, tightening soul bonds, and having to deal with elements and beings who are also extra dimensional, creating the language for this, the culture for this. Everyone has to do their part into creating an understanding of this for the next generation. And so in this moon in Aqua transit, this not only prepares you to fully step into this, but this prepares you to gain, has such a heightened advanced quality, every detail that you really didn't understand about how to use newly defined supernatural abilities. As simple as just setting the intention. And set the intention for me right now. Anyone who wants to set the intention. We set the intention to gain advanced understanding of how to integrate and utilize our superpowers and supernatural abilities. Anything we don't know, please reveal to us. It's literally that simple, because this is going to align with the moon in Aquarius, your higher mind, with Uranus and Taurus, your body. And your body is like configuring, and it's able to now align with the higher integrity of the higher knowledge of who you are. This is manifesting enhanced sensory capability, input and output, for you to discern extra dimensional understanding and knowledge and energy that goes into your ability to admit this. Do you know why it's really hard for me to say this? Because you're not a basic ass motherfucker. You're not a basic bitch. And I'm trying to say this like you're a basic bitch. You're not a basic bitch. You are literally bringing in supernatural energy beyond most people's brain's ability to even process. So you might be shooting fire blasters out your crotch or your hands, and it's just going to be kind of weird for you to integrate, but the weirder the better. The pressure of that squares to not necessarily fit yourself into standards that are less than you. Some of you are whole goddesses out here and gods. So set the standard. You feel me? This is going to be a much more advanced understanding of how to bring together everything that's being brought together in a collective and social standpoint. So you're bringing extraordinary style into how you express abilities that you've had your whole life, but now express at a higher level. Now, the golden dopest part about this is this is going to be one of 3 breakthroughs that will set you across the edge. Moon in Aqua, okay, then the Neptune moon in Pisces with the full moon, and then the moon Jupiter. It's all based on the moon Jupiter. The sextile we have from moon in Aqua to Jupiter in Aries is going to be like being a Mario Kart and going on the, I don't know what that was supposed to be, but like the mushroom that gives you a speed boost, okay? You're accounting for the nature of evolution and how much you've grown in such a short amount of time. You have the audacity to be a badass motherfucker. Now you have to deal with it. And you're going to come into the knowledge of how much more amazing you are, and how you have to fill that gap by stepping more into how much you have kind of stepped into those shoes, okay? It's kind of like jumping a triple jump that was much higher than you used to jump, and now you're understanding how much more you need to practice to maintain that new level of dominance and activity and victory. Okay, you're gonna gain a lot of advanced understanding and jargon. There's gonna be certain things you come into the knowledge of, and it's gonna be like, oh, I've been doing this my whole life, okay? Or, oh, that's how to do this. So I hope you enjoy this. This breakthrough will lead into the full moon, where this is going to really induce a new cycle of supernatural understanding so that you can bring the fantasy into the real and realize the real is always the fantasy. Bars. Godspeed. Peace.